Join me as I dive deep into the wild world of brain science and challenge myself to reveal some unbelievable facts about our minds that you probably never knew. Our brains are capable of incredible things, from processing millions of pieces of information every second to remembering entire conversations from years ago. But despite being the most complex organ in our bodies, there's still so much we don't know about our brains. That's what makes exploring the mysterious world of brain science so fascinating. Every new discovery reveals a little more about what makes us, us. I think we've all heard the phrase, "you only use 10% of your brain" at some point in our lives. It sounds like a cool fact, but unfortunately, it's completely untrue. The idea that we have a huge amount of untapped brain power just waiting to be unleashed is a myth that's been debunked by scientists time and time again. In reality, our brains are highly active and interconnected all the time, even when we're sleeping or daydreaming. So where did this myth come from? Some people think it originated from a misunderstanding of neurological research from the early 20th century, while others believe it was simply a marketing ploy to sell self-help books. Whatever the reason, it's clear that this myth has been perpetuated for far too long, and it's time to set the record straight. Another common misconception about the brain is that it's fixed and unchangeable, that we're stuck with the brain we were born with and can't do much to improve it. But again, this just isn't true. Our brains have an amazing ability to reorganize and adapt throughout our lives, a process called neuroplasticity. This means that our brains can actually change shape in response to new experiences, learning, and environmental factors. It's a pretty incredible concept, and one that has huge implications for how we approach learning and personal growth. Whenever we learn something new or have a new experience, our brains are constantly forming new connections between neurons and strengthening existing ones. This process is driven by something called synaptic pruning, where weak or unused connections are eliminated, making way for stronger, more efficient ones. It's a lifelong process that helps our brains adapt to changing circumstances and stay healthy and resilient. One of the most astonishing things about our brains is their ability to process emotions. Did you know that emotions are actually processed in the same part of the brain as physical pain? It's true. The anterior cingulate cortex is responsible for detecting physical discomfort, but it's also deeply involved in emotional experiences like empathy, fear, and anxiety. This is why emotional pain can feel so intense and overwhelming at times. Our brains are literally wired to treat emotional threats the same way they would physical threats, which is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. Our brains are also incredibly good at filtering out distractions and helping us focus on what's important. This is thanks to something called the reticular activating system, which acts like a kind of mental filter, deciding what information is relevant and what can be ignored. It's what helps us tune out background noise when we're trying to concentrate, and why we tend to notice things that are important to us, like our own names being mentioned in a conversation. But what might be the most surprising thing about our brains is their incredible capacity for creativity and problem solving. Did you know that our brains are capable of generating an infinite number of new ideas and solutions simply by combining existing knowledge in new and novel ways? It's a process called lateral thinking, and it's what enables us to come up with innovative solutions to complex problems. And the more we practice using our brains in this way, the more neural connections we build, and the better we become at thinking outside the box. In fact, our brains are so good at problem solving that they can even do it in our sleep. Research has shown that our brains are highly active during REM sleep, processing and consolidating information, and even generating new insights and ideas. This is why we often wake up with a solution to a problem that's been stumping us, or have a brilliant idea in the middle of the night. What's truly amazing about our brains is their incredible capacity for adaptation, creativity, and problem solving. By understanding how our brains work and what they're capable of, we can unlock our full potential and achieve things we never thought possible. And that's what makes exploring the world of brain science so fascinating. Every new discovery reveals a little more about what makes us, us. Recap time. From debunking common myths about the brain to exploring its incredible abilities, we've covered some pretty wild stuff in this video. From the brain's ability to change shape to its capacity for creativity and problem solving, it's clear that our brains are capable of some truly amazing things. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your favorite brain facts in the comments below. If you're curious to learn more about neuroscience and the human brain, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll dive deeper into the mysteries of brain science.